Yeah, we got rubber duckies, so you know it's going to be an important show. The Solo X18 Showdown. I'm excited. It's Tuesday, so enter the giveaway. Kicker.com/UMWeekly, Bullfrog 100s, TW2s, EB400s, and of course, the 50% off discount code. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's beautiful outside, so a few of you are going to want to watch this afterwards. I get it. I'd rather be on the motorcycle, but you can't just give up on a Tuesday. It's just not the same without Kicker Unmasked or Kicking It with Andy. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. And without further ado, let's kick off the intro, and I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
I feel like we need to turn the game up. The kicker was kicking, but I didn't see a super chat. Maybe Ernie's taking control of the studio. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Solo X gods raining down, saying start kicking it, because this show is going to be awesome.
Living Loud with Andy.
I guess we can start the show now. And here we go. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have an awesome show tonight. I am excited. And man, it's Tuesday, Kicking It with Andy, and we got the L7X18, the Solo X18, and man, you know, just an awesome woofer, both of them. Two different things, and we're gonna talk about both of them, just because there are some similarities and quite a lot of differences. So Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you for being here tonight. And tonight is going to be awesome. William, thank you, man. Let's get ready to kick it. Kicker Unmasked live with our host with the most, living loud, live from the Kicker Cave, Andy. Thank you, William. Appreciate you, man. And thank you guys for always tuning in. You guys are awesome. And William, the NGA bass knob is, it's doing amazing. I don't know about you guys. It's a little hot in here. I forgot to turn on the AC, so if I look a little red, it's not the lighting.
Uncle Bobby
It's
B.
not the lighting. Thank you for tuning in, Bobby. This guy is always first to every live stream. Appreciate the hustle, man. And thank you for being here. Kyle, what is up? How you doing, man? You guys are awesome. Ronco160, he is here to kick it. Thank you for hanging out with us as well. Eric, what is up? Man, you got to do the housekeeping. The community here is more than subscribers. The people that tune in, you take the time out of your day, and I appreciate you for that. You guys are awesome. Josh Hoover, what is going on? We got Mr. McMillan. JR got to hear the Solo X18, and now he wants two of them. He wants two of them. All right, say less. Say less. Thank you for being here, man. And I'm sure Casey heard it when we were driving away, too. Thank you for tuning in, Casey. Appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And, man, what we're going to do tonight is going to be kind of crazy. I got a lot of things to look at. We got subwoofers to be flexing, and just the comparisons. There's a lot to cover, and there's a lot just with the old Solo X18. The BAM, the spare, the slam. Oh, man, the splat? What the heck is that? Literally, man. And we're going to go over them of the old Solo X18. But, of course, look at the new 18 and the differences. The differences. Yes, SPL is one thing, but it's not the end of the game. Thank you, William. Man, he really wants us to look at it.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Thank you, William. Andy knows that sometimes you just gotta step back and look at it. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Just look at it, man. Thank you, William. I appreciate you, man. And it is becoming a trademark here that we get to look at kickers. We get to look at it all the time. So thank you so much. Appreciate the support. And thank you for tuning in on Kicking It with Andy. If you guys didn't already, let me drop the link for Facebook, because YouTube, you can do fancy things and pin stuff, and Facebook, you gotta wait till you're live to do that. So let me drop that through Restream so everybody on Facebook can enter the giveaway. But you guys should know by now, every Tuesday, either if I'm live or Kicker's live, kicker.com/UM for Unmasked Weekly. UM Weekly. That's it. Enter. It doesn't cost anything. Man, I'm telling you, it is awesome what they do and the prizes that you get. And the special prize for Tuesday's Kicking It with Andy, 50% off discount code. Everyone's like, hey, is it that Tuesday? Yeah, it's that Tuesday. Let's get it. Thank you, William. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, everybody tuning in on Facebook as well. We got Simon Stately. Appreciate you, sir. Hope you've been well. And Jake be working on them in the garage, man, on the SDK enclosures, listening to the best audio podcasts on the web, and I am taking that one to the bank, Jake. Thank you so much for tuning in. Frank the Tank, appreciate ya. How you been, man? How you been? We got Shannon. Thank you as well for hanging out, and appreciate all you guys. Cedric, I saw your text message. I had to go live. I will help you out with your voltage regulator soon. And Randy knows you just gotta look at it. That is it. That is it. So I tried to plan this in my head. How am I going to do this show? And most of it is going to be over there flexing on them with the Solo X18s. And we got also on the other side of the studio, let's spin over here, take a look at it. We have two of the spares from back in the day. Of course, we got rubber duckies. Yes, we have rubber duckies. Both of those Solo X18s are hooked up. Yes, I just took it out of my car to do this video. I had to. I had to. We have to do an in-depth, just, comparison of the two. And those two right there, those are the spare drop-in recones, and we're going to go look at them. So I might as well, since we did most of the housekeeping, we got 44 of you guys in here, share this to your kicker buddy, or if they just like bass. And yes, please, thank you. And while we do that, I'm going to switch so we can go over there and look at the stuff, because I got a lot of numbers too. And one thing I do want to mention before I head over there, because I got a lot over here too. It's like homework. I didn't pay too much attention in school. I pay more attention now. So obviously the elephant in the room is the power handling, the RMS rating. I see it all the time between the old Solo X having 5,000 watts RMS and the new one having only 2,000 RMS. And I know people, I want more power and it be able to be more loud. You know, I get that, but things are rated a little differently now because they are. And the voice coil difference kind of reflects that as well. That, yes, it's a 3-inch coil and it can handle less power, right? No. No. They rated things different 20 years ago. You got to think, the original Solo X18 was first created, launched in 2003. The revamp of the black cone in 2007. So we're talking 20 plus years of that 5,000 RMS rating for the 18, 2,500 RMS for the 10 and 12. There was no 15. So what gives, you know? And it's just technology, the rating of the drivers, and I'm just going to say technology. And maybe Parker the basshead. I feel like he has had a lot of influence on how, you know, not maybe just Kicker, but just car audio companies, you know, it's like they want it to be able to handle that power clamped, and the Solo X18 can handle that 2,000 RMS continuous sine wave. It just can, man. And I'll get more into it, you know, and I touch on it on every show. I mean, they're behind me every live stream, so there's always that, but I kind of want to graze over everything, look at the two, and have some fun tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Luca, what is going on? Appreciate ya. Man, this guy, he wants his 50% off discount code. He wants another one so he gets 100% off. Sorry, it doesn't work that way, but hey. Thank you, CAE. He is throwing the pennies. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, you know, I am so glad my dad is doing good. I'm glad you brought it up. My dad has cancer and liver stuff, HCC. And let's just say I had to rush him to the hospital, and he was bloating really bad. They pulled 5 liters out of his stomach. So he is back home today. Just picked him up. I'm like, Dad, I love you. I would stay here. I got to go live. But nonetheless, thank you, CAE. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody for the support on YouTube, Facebook. And I'm sorry I missed you guys Friday. We will do the 10K giveaway on Friday. That's separate from Kicker. Keep Kicker separate. Living Loud with Andy on Friday, 10K giveaway for that. But tonight is the big prizes. We got the big prizes. Thank you, CAE. Man, we got the whole Brady bunch tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Casey and Cassie. Appreciate both of you. Where's Parker at? We got to get Parker here. The only one. Oh, there's Gerald. Who's Gerald? Awesome, man. Thank you for tuning in, JR. Appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. Eddie Hernandez, in like Flynn. Yeah, you guys got to enter the giveaway. I know you guys know the deal, but still, if it's too loud, then you're too old. And my dad told me today, I was only bumping the Kicker Comp Q. I know it's like only, right? But only the Kicker Comp Q. And he said, wow, that sounds clear. You know, and that... I take his, you know, like, I know he's not like a huge bass head, but he's been around. I take his word to the bank, man. Really do. And that Comp Q is an amazing sounding driver. And it's not even in like the most optimal box either. It's not. Hey, Larry Keller, thank you for tuning in. We got Fago up in here. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in, Ram. I'm sorry to hear that. He's doing okay. We're doing the best that we can. Yeah, I know, YouTube. Yeah, you got to change that. Nick Jones, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. James Paul Lopez, shout out to Lakin Audio and Bass Bros Manila for these 2 Solo X12s, first ever in the Philippines, and that is awesome. Kicker is not just in the States, man. It is worldwide, and I'm just glad you got the L7X, man. You're gonna love it. All right, so a few differences here with the specs because I don't know TS specs of the driver by looking at it. Now, the FS's between what I'm comparing is the Dual 2 and the Dual 1. So Dual 2 of the old Solo X and the Dual 1. So there's going to be a little bit of differences because of that, but they're two different drivers. So these are the ones that I have, and that's how we're going to do it. But either way, it's pretty similar. You know, if you had the Dual 4 of the old Solo X and the Dual 2 of the new Solo X, it's kind of linear, sort of, for like FS and stuff like that, but not everything. So the FS of the old one, Dual 2, is 22.1 hertz. What FS is just resonant frequency, where the woofer is moving the least moving the most with the least amount of power, meaning that that's where it wants to spring at, right? With no enclosure. And whenever you build an enclosure, you kind of want to gear, you know, like above that. Otherwise, you know, it might be a little bit of peaky box or might just fall off or something like that. You know, it just all depends on that too, but there's a lot of variables. So the new one, instead of being 22 hertz, 26. So only 4 hertz higher, and that is surprising because the Solo X12, I think, is 39 hertz FS. So, you know, it's an 18. Bigger woofers tend to have a lower FS, so there is that. But still, just kind of cool that it's pretty close to the old one with having all that more power handling and cone travel. And speaking of cone travel, the old one is 24.5 millimeters, so that's almost an inch. That's 0.96 of an inch of one-way excursion. So whenever you're talking with the new one, you got 31.25. So instead of almost an inch, you got an inch and a quarter of excursion one way. So this thing's got what, what would that be? That would be 1.25, 2.5 inches both ways linearly, meaning that, you know, with how they measure the X max of the BL and all that other fun stuff, the percentage of the BL of how much the coil is exiting the gap, and pretty much the magnet is still controlling the coil up to 80%, give or take, on each driver and each company. But still, like, that's a lot of throw, and then it's got more. It's got more past that, of course. And I know a lot of the basehead guys, that's what, you know, I mean, they're looking for that too. They want all the driver. They paid for all the driver. They want all of the driver. So those are like the two main things, is just the FS, the excursion. I mean, the sensitivity is something to look at as well. And the sensitivity of the old one is 89.7 and the new one is 88.3. So there is a jump there in efficiency at 1 watt, 1 meter. And we all know you have to take that with a grain of salt in real world applications, but still, that is, you know, something to look at. But hey, you got all that more power handling. I think you'll make up for it down the road. Now, SD is effective cone area, meaning when you measure it with, you know, half of the surround in, right? And how much effective cone do you have with just a physical plane? Not talking about when it moves up, does it change? Yes, but how much does it change? We're not getting into that. We're just looking at the effective cone area of the SD, and the old one has a little bit more. It has 1,426 centimeters. I don't know the inches. And the new one is 1,406. So it's only 20 centimeters, 20 centimeters less. Like, that's not much. It's a small difference. So the effective cone area is a little bit smaller, but with that a lot more X max, it's gonna make up for it. Appreciate you guys, man. We got Garrick up in here. Appreciate you, Eric. Garrick, we got El Fuego, and yes, we got to throw it. I need to take a breath anyway.
The Pacific Northwest.
Thank you, El Fuego. Appreciate you tuning in, man. You guys are awesome. Love you so much. I'm just trying to get over the number so then we can look at this stuff, okay? And we'll do our own measurements. We'll get into everything else. And the moving mass, so pretty much the weight that the driver is having to move. So the old one is actually a little bit heavier. It's 836.5 compared to 800. And that, you know, it's not everything, but it's, I was surprised. I thought that the new Solo X was going to be heavier because of, like, maybe the cone and with that bigger surround, you know, like that looks like it's heavier. but they somehow made it pretty close to the old Solo X, but in a different way for more output, more low-end bass below 40 hertz, and a lot more power handling. And there's obviously trade-offs for that, but still, that was pretty impressive that I seen right there. Appreciate all you guys, man. We got Kyle up in here, Jay, of course. Let's see, man. I wish I could see more comments at once. Walt, thank you for tuning in. Walt, appreciate you tuning on Facebook. Annualizations, thank you, man. Appreciate you. 10K. We're halfway to 11. We're full tilt boogie. All right, cool. So I think that's good for this right now. And I can go over all those measurements and verify everything over there. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go over there and we're going to look at them. So bear with me here. Why is that kicker kicking? It's just randomly kicking. I don't see a super chat. I don't see one. Okay, yeah, this has got to go here. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're good. Solo X for the win. Yes. All right, so let me make sure I got my handy dandy remote, and then we can switch over to 2 and 4, and we got everything else over there. Let me just double check. Yeah, we're good. Let's do it. Let's head over here. Now, I'm going to take a chance. Oh, I need my phone. I'm going to take a chance and leave my water over here. Kind of scared. Long story short, I have to be careful. I have to be very careful when I do this. So let me plug this in here, because of course we're going to need the tone generator to get these guys going. Now, yeah, I'm going to move this anyway. Make sure you guys enter the giveaway. kicker.com/UMweekly. Just do it. Please do it. 28 likes, 61 watching. Come on, guys. Hit the like. Oh, I see the Solo X's. I mean, I see a lot of Solo X's here too, man. It's kind of crazy. Make sure my switcher works. Aha. Look at them rubber duckies. They are ready to go. Excuse me. All right, so with the new Solo X cone here, you can see, let's zoom in here. We need to zoom in on this. Enhance. Enhance. There we go. Because I know you guys just want to look at this. You don't want to look at me. You don't need to look at me. All right, so they're a lot different. And one's taller. That's all you need to know. No, there's a lot different between the two spares. Before we even get to the actual motor of the Solo X, the spare right here, this one is really heavy. This is probably, it's got to be at least 10 pounds because this thing has metal. This is actually my first one, and I got my boo-boo right here. This was from Cheap Power and Clipping. And Buddy's telling me, oh, it's your subwoofer breaking in. No, that was my resin and my coil burning. And I had a little bit of fire. If you can't tell, it's a little dark right there. So this whole assembly is totally different than what they have now. And this actually has like a metal casing, which I liked. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's nice, but it's heavier and it's a little bit more complex. Now, over here with the new Solo X spare, there's a lot less. And this thing is light. This thing's probably maybe 2 pounds, maybe 3. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's 18 inches. You know, it just seems heavier than it really is. And thank you, Jabby, for tuning in. I know, you guys got to smash a like. Now we're up to 35. And you can see it's missing that whole metal assembly that the old one had. You know, and this one was pretty advanced for what it was back in 2003, but this is the 7 model, actually 12, but still, well, this one's actually, could be 07. The one that I had earlier was a 12. But yeah, totally different with the terminals and everything else, and the sizes, I mean, the spare's a lot smaller because it doesn't have any of the metal frame. Like, this is a speaker itself almost, like... It's like we can just put any magnet on the bottom and kind of connect it. It'd be a speaker. It'd kind of work. Has its own frame. This one, not so much, but I like how they did it, and there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different things that they changed to make the new one be better as a woofer. And that was something I was asking Kip some questions last night, and I was like, I know with the new Solo X18, you can't swap out like a dual 1 with a dual 2 because the tolerances are so tight in the gap that, you know, they adjust the inside of the motor so that the tolerances are similar, that they are the same and where they want them. Well, here, the old Solo X18 was only optimized, oh God, that's the least of my troubles tonight, was optimized for the dual 4 because it was the widest coil, thickest coil. It was the most wraps around it, so they had to optimize it for at least that because the other ones would fit. So you actually had a little bit lesser of a BL, from my understanding, you know, just the effectiveness of the motor to the voice coil and that, you know, whole science thing. With the dual 2, and they actually did have a dual 1 in this in the 03 version, not the 07, but still. And with the terminals, I can show you guys. I actually have a whole video on that and the weight of these drivers. I have so much to show you guys. It's definitely going to be 90 minutes-ish tonight. I'm not kidding with you. So let me show you. First, let's just move over here. And we're going to weigh these things. And I'm going to show you how much they weigh. Because I don't know. I've heard rumors this thing was 105 pounds, and other people said, oh, it's only 63 pounds. Well, that was just the motor. And then this thing has so much, like the basket, the BAM. This is called the BAM, basket and motor structure. They gave them fancy names back in the day. Love it. But is a lot heavier than the new one. But let me show you how much these weighs, and we're going to be right back. So this is like a commercial break, but it's a good commercial break. So, I know you guys are probably wondering, how much do they weigh each? Well, let's weigh each one, but first, I don't want to break my scale down there. Oh, God. So what we're going to do is we're going to weigh myself, and then we're going to weigh each speaker. Just look at me, you know, just look at it. Okay, good. It's me on a good day. 189, and this thing, I think, is probably around 80 to 90 pounds. So let's see if we hit, what would that be, 260, 270, 280? I mean, the signature adds about 5 pounds right there, so we'll see. What's our chiropractor's name? Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. There goes that. How much?
284. 284.
284. So 94 pounds. Holy moly. And for all the people saying it was 100 pounds, I think 94. Close enough. My back hurts. All right, so 94 pounds. Let's weigh the new L7X18. I think it's a little bit lighter. Let's find out by how much. Let's try not to break it. That's significantly lighter.
262.
262, so 72 pounds. So that was right on with the box where it said 73 net. So we got 73 pounds. And what was it, 94? Mm-hmm. So 21 pound difference. So I was close. 21 pound difference between the old Solo X18 and the new Solo X18. And weight is not everything. 20 years of, you know, just learning how to make woofers louder and better. You're about to hear another one. I don't know. Oh.
Careful.
I don't know. Oh my God, no. Oh my God. That one you could lift it up and over. Like this, there's no way. Oh my God. I can't. That's it. That's it. Oh God. Yeah, that's a lot lighter. And it's like I can fit it around my head. Whew. It's a little bit easier to do. God. It ain't that light. God. Round 2.
Am I gonna break this?
Here we go. Here we go.
Me. I'm dying.
A little bit heavier, huh? That was fun to film. I will say that. That was great to film. And Kayla is definitely a lot stronger than me. But man, 73 pounds, it says, oh man, my wheels aren't working. 73 pounds in the manual and the box, on the outside of the box, 73 pounds. And the old school Solo X here, 95. I said 94. It's like 95 pounds, but with my science, it's not perfect. And I've seen a few places where it said 100, but I mean, that thing weighs significantly more than the new Solo X18, and that doesn't mean more loud. It just doesn't, man. We got 78 people in here. They're ready to look at it. Love you guys so much. I've been reading the comments. I know we have a few different questions here. Kyle, thank you for tuning in. Andy, is that still a bolt-on style drop-in? Yes. So with the new one, it has some alignment pins, and instead of just, okay, let's talk about the old one first. I was gonna tear it apart, but I'm like, how am I gonna do that and flex it and do all that other stuff? I know you guys want to see it flex, so we can just look at this one, okay? Now on the Solo X, the old one here, it was very simple, okay? All it had was one alignment pin that was not part of a Chinese acupuncture set. And if you notice here, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell super well. Yeah, you could see. See like how you got a hole here, you got a hole here, and then this one's a little bit off. That is the alignment pin, the only one that you have to set and align on the BAM, on the motor and basket. There's a pin that sticks up just a little bit and that you set this down into. And that's it, and then you bolt it down. And there was a few reasons why they didn't do that this time. Trust me, that was a lot easier, but there was a lot more just possibility of error, of misaligned coils and rubbing on the inner former or on the outside of the coil. So with this, it's got a whole little set. I've done so many videos of putting these together, and they're super easy. The only thing is you have to take the whole subwoofer motor and basket out of the enclosure to do so, since the alignment pins are on the back of the motor, and you got these 8 screws here, and then you got 8 on the top and a ring plate on top. The ring plate kind of acts like a reversed splat. And that, I don't have a splat. We'll get into the splat BAM and all the other stuff, man. 80 people. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And absolutely, Jason, a lower ohm, lower resistance coil should be thinner, assuming the wire gauge is the same. Bingo. And I'm sure there's more to it than just that, but still, yes, that was the reason for the old school Solo X, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. Clarence, what is up? Do you guys like Kicker? Let me know. It's all right, John. It's all right, John. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Kayla is definitely a good sport, man. She is awesome. She's kicking it with Kayla. 47 likes. It helps, Andy, if you can hit the thumb for content. Easy. Exit the chat. Like it. Come back. It's simple. We almost hit 50 likes. Man, if we hit 50 likes, I'm definitely giving away 5 memberships. I like that. 50 likes. We can do it. You just got to hit the thing. You know the thing. All right, so what else did I want to go over? We kind of talked about the spares enough. Now, these have different terminals, and we can get into that. We can talk about the SPL because I know I did a video and stuff, but I still kind of want to show the differences too. But we have to flex these. I know you guys are going to want to see these flex. I know you guys are going to want to see these flex. So let me get the test tone generator. Rubber duckies are ready. Let's switch over to here. Test tone generator. All right, so let's turn on the LX 3000.1. And make sure the bass knob is down. Whoa, there we go. There we go, there we go. Now this is a very scientifical test where we judge by the rubber ducky's movement. And as you can see, the L7X18, the brand new Solo X, is so much better because of the rubber ducky movement. Do you see that movement? Do you just see it? Maybe we need to turn it up a little bit more to give the old 18 a little bit more of a chance here. Okay, we got more rubber ducky movement, but we had a winner already. I feel like I'm on one of those carnival rides. All right, pick a ducky, any ducky. We got number 49, actually, nope, 73. We got 73. Bingo, who got it? Okay, so enough with the rubber duckies. Let's switch these off here, okay? So let's take a look at one of them. Let's take a look at the old Solo X18. Now, I try to configure the wiring in a way to get the same amount of power, but even if it was dead at 1 ohm, they're two different drivers. They're going to receive a little bit different power. That's why with the whole different sizes, can I run them? No, just no. Just don't do it. Two different woofers here, and let's just take a look at how this one flexes compared to the new Solo X. Man, we got 91 people tuned in. I love you guys. Holy crap. You guys are awesome, and my comments need to keep scrolling. I can't. Matthew Davis, thank you for tuning in. Kip Litzy, man, that is my guy. Thank you for being here, Kip. NVX 8K73, bingo! Who got it? Okay, NVX got it. Congratulations. Keith Parr ran a single warhorse on 2 L7X12, still did a 49.87 at 31 hertz, and that is awesome, man. These subs are meant to put up numbers, man. We got 95 people. Love you guys. All right. Let's turn up the old Solo X. So this one says that it's got almost an inch of travel one way. So that's about 2 inches up and down, but that's linearly. How about full tilt boogie? I don't want to break this. We got the Steve Irby signature on this one here. We can't break this one. This has been to 3 Slamologies and it's still kicking. Let's turn it up. This is not the one that I got to worry about foreshadowing it for my studio. Oh, would you look at that? Here, maybe we can get another shot here too, so you can see a little bit more. Is my focus out of focus? Let me know if my focus is out of focus. Oh my God, my TV is shaking right now. My TV is shaking. Yeah, we got to focus this. There we go. Just so we can get a little bit better of a comparison of just flex. And I'm just going to look at it. I need a bigger studio. This is not scientifical at all. I'm just looking at it. I would say from the bottom of that flex to the top, because you can kind of see it, I'd say we're at about a ½ inch already. Over a ½ inch already. And that's going to have close to 2 inches full throw, right? Man, my TV is shaking. Or it's the camera. Whoa. Holy moly. We are shaking everything. Oh my God, it's going off the table. Oh man. All right, let's switch to camera 4. There we go. Wow. Wow, that thing has got some motor force, man. Let's turn it up more. Whoa, buddy. Woo! Wow. Yeah, I'd say that's about full extension right there, man. But that thing just looks beautiful flexing. And we got a super chat. That's another woofer flexing in the room. STK, appreciate ya. Oh, he's telling. Are you telling us to look at it, or we got pennies? We got pennies.
I got pennies.
Thank you so much, Jake. Got my L7X smelly today with clean power. Ruh-roh, Reggie. Why, Scoob? Why are you clipping your L7X? Oh, I don't know. Thank you so much, Jake. Appreciate ya. And, man, I love this woofer. Just the look of it. But you guys are going to want to see the next one. You guys are going to want to see this one. Alright, so let's turn off the old Solo X, and we're going to move on to the new Solo X Kitchen Studio. Thank you, Kyle. I tested it about 4:30, or actually 3:30 in the morning, and Kayla was cool with that. And but I noticed my biggest TV monitor was really shaking, so I have to take off one ear to make sure we're not losing anything here. All right. Oh, I hear that kicker over there kicking. Oh God. Oh God. Holy moly. Holy moly. That thing is moving. Hold on. I don't want to lose this one, man. I don't want to lose this one. Let's make sure. Okay. Holy moly. Now this one, I mean, I could try. I'm going to need to get a bigger tape measure. All right, so we're rated about 3/4 of an inch at the bottom there. And the top, it's already at, holy crap. Like, if you just stand beside it, you can really see. Let's see, can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so we're at 3/4 or an inch, and we're starting at, or going down to the bottom at 1/4 inch. So I don't know if that's the starting point, it's the frame rate of my eyeballs, or what. But let me turn this up. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Whoa, 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 Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. Oh my God. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. 99 red balloons. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wow. She's swanging. All right, I know you guys are going to want to see them together, full tilt boogie, huh? All right, let's do it. Let's look at the difference. All right, let's try not. Stay Betsy. Thank you, Coburst Wilson, for liking the live on TikTok. Wow. Pull. Come on. You got to stay put. Okay, don't buy the kicker. It doesn't listen. Don't buy it. Holy moly. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, we still have a studio. That's good. See, I can't do this long, man. These things are nuts. All right, I'm going to try to get this shot so you can see the excursion difference. But I'm going to have to stand out of shot, kind of right here. Okay, let's do it. Whoa! Holy moly! Whoa! Holy moly! I don't know if you guys seen that. I seen spark. I don't know what that was, but they're still kicking. They're still kicking. Tell me you seen that spark. Holy crap. That is awesome. Is the power the same? It should be close to it. Don't ask me how I wire this, Jason. Don't ask me, but they're both they're both at the same. But I knew going in that the L7X18, the new one, could handle easily twice the power compared to the old one. So if you know how to math, you know how I wired it. All right, so that is awesome. Let's zoom out here. Appreciate all you guys. Should I be able to, oh, no, not over there yet. All right, so cool. We can go over this way, huh? And I don't have a mouse here, so I do need one more mouse. I was like, no mouse. Thank you for tuning in, Dobby. Instant replay. I know, man. I think you can go backwards on the live. I'm gonna have to clip that. That was really good. Both subs touching each other. Yeah, they're kind of bouncing around, hitting each other. Holy sparks, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know what I did. That was the first time I just fully sent it, you know, because I was worried about everything here. It's like, well, if something's going to break in the studio, it might as well be on a live. When we're live on Tuesday. Oh, they ground it out. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Bobby. I have no idea. That's that's new to me. All right, cool. So, excuse me. That is the demo portion, and I want to get into a little bit more of the specifics of everything else here. Oh, there goes everything. I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine. At least the TV didn't fall. It could have been a lot worse. That could have been a lot worse. All right, let's switch. I want to switch because this headset is not a Kicker headset and does not sound as good. All right, there's that. That's muted. Bada bing, bada boom. Every time. Every time. Thank you guys so much. Spark, probably from coil alignment in the motor. The new method with pins is way better. Man, you know, if that was the case, which I wouldn't be surprised, because when I put that together, that is technically not correctly mounted. I know you guys had the splat. You guys had the splat, and what better time to get into the technical stuff of the old Solo X and the new Solo X. And yes, Kip, 100%. And I mean, give it. This was 20 years ago. You guys came up with this technology, man. And it was awesome then. But you guys are always making stuff better. So with the splat, let's see here. We got the slam, the spare. The spare is pretty much the recone drop-in. The slam, spare, lockdown attachment mechanism. The splat, the speaker precision location alignment tool. And that the splat, you actually put on the back of, let me scroll down here. Okay, come on. Now you're not going to do it? I thought it did the whole little thing here. Nope, now you're not going to do it for me. All right, let's scroll down here and look at what the splat is for that. Well, you can actually see it right there. It's the black line on that box, but that is just showing the L7X or the Solo X. God, I'm so used to saying that now. L7X, LX. Wait, that's not it. Let's see. Scrolling down here, enclosures. Just, wait, what is that? Looks like something. Bear with me, guys. There's so much. And I like this, too. I was reading this, and I was like, whoa. Like, thank you, Kicker. And just for simple box building, if you're going to bend the port at 90 degrees, you will need to add 1/2 of the port's height to the length. Like, that is, you know, I don't do any angled ports. Not yet. I know it's going to happen. But, yes, that is good information, man. That is awesome, awesome information. Where is the splat? I had everything here. Let me just scroll down. Got some crazy enclosures here. Big enclosures. Cut out. Oh, there's Sam. Here it is. So, with the old Solo X, there was a lot more to it. You had to put everything together with the spare, the splat, and connecting everything to the BAM. You know, there was a little bit extra pieces that you could add to it, but you didn't need to. But there is, let's see here. Yeah, there is the splat. Let me zoom in on the splat. There is the splat on the back. I never had one, but it makes it really easy for mounting them into a wall, you know, and you just have everything connected. You can leave the motor, the BAM, the basket and motor into the enclosure, and it's mounted. I've always, anytime I took out my recone, my spare, the SPAIR spare, simple pull part insertable recone replacement, I always say recone, the whole motor and basket could come out too. So that is cool that they had that. And I don't know if I guess you could technically still have something like that for the L7X18 or L7X, but they just didn't do it. And I never had one. I didn't feel the need to get one. You know, I need a Warhorse cover. But other than that, you know, splat, it's okay. I'm okay without it. So let's see here. What else were we talking about? The splat, the L7X, the 18. Man, that was crazy. Like a firework night at the terminal. Right? I know that's what I don't know. That was crazy. I've never seen a spark at the terminal. I mean, we got a lot of power. Technically, that LX 3000 was wired at half ohm starting. So a lot of power. A lot of power. Double Mason. Okay, cool. So, you guys got any questions? Are they made of the same material? Good question. No, the new one is made out of like a pressed paper cone, and the old one is your, you know, regular poly cone of like, you know, kind of like plastic feel. And I understand why they did it. I love the poly cone and stuff, but there's obviously some limitations with that, and there's a reason they went with the paper cone, and I think a lot has to do with the efficiency of the driver and everything else that they were trying to achieve. Thank you for tuning in, Double Mason. All right, let's see. I wanted to... Okay, so that's the old Solo X18. Now, the new L7X... Here's the manual here. I have all these manuals listed in the About section. The About section, listen to me. In the description below. Why is my mouse scroller not working? I did something here. But, yeah, you know, it's a little bit more to the punch of what everything is. You know, and we could go over all the specs. I mean, you can look at the differences of just how everything really is. Like the TS specs, the power handling. But whenever you put an L7X18 in your car, it's night and day difference compared to the old Solo X. And even with the SPL differences, and I cut it down into a clip so I could show you guys watt for watt, slowed it down because they're pretty similar. They're really similar, but tonality in that same enclosure, I could tell that they were different. And there's a lot more variables that come down to how a speaker reacts and how it makes bass. But the QTS of the drivers are a little bit different. The old Solo X had a very low Q, and the new one has a little bit higher of a Q. And all that pretty much kind of means is it's a little bit more of a precise, like accurate driver, you know, that tighter sound, less of a ring of any kind of note that it's playing, you know, in a way. But you get what I'm saying. So the old Solo X little balanced more towards SQ, believe it or not, even with its underhung design. And this has an overhung design. This one is meant for bass output SPL, and the old one was too, but in a different retrospect, and literally lean towards the sound quality side of things. But if you have an SQ driver, it's not going to be able to move as much air as the other one. And then how they designed it to handle more power, dude, it is night and day. It is night and day. Let me show you the video here of the SPL comparison of the two. With the old Solo X, it did really good numbers. I was able to get 150.5 dBs on 2600-ish watts. And when I had the Warhorse 10K hooked up to it, I got 151.5. The biggest takeaway of that, yes, it did really good, but I could not give out demos at that level. The woofer would just blow up. Probably within 30 to 40 seconds, it would be done. So what I did was, Kicker came out with the brand new Warhorses, the 3.6Ks, and I put one on each coil, so 2 ohms on each amp, and I was getting around 1300 to 2,500 watts musically, each amplifier. And having that set up, it was able to withstand that amount of power and be able to demo, but full tilt burp, it only did a 150.5. I did not clamp this yet, but I can hear a significant difference between the two in output. So given that the L7X18 comes in a dual 1 version, I figured that would be the best way to just have all the power out of the amplifiers and give the L7X anything that it wants and then some. And let me tell you, it can handle that power a lot longer. It is night and day the difference between the two of the old Solo X18 and the new Solo X18. Let's fire up this cookie and we're gonna meter it and see the difference between the old Solo X18 versus the new. Let's find out.
118, and this is temporal experiment number 1.
I'm gonna see if it's as loud as the old one on the same power. I'm gonna try to stay around 2,500 watts and see if we can get that 150.5. That's pretty on par with the old Solo X18. I'm fine with that, and this one can handle more power, and we have a lot more power. So let's find out how loud this thing can get. Oh yes, a 152 on the money, 4,024 watts.
Maybe blue, but it's the bomb.
Some kicker way to go, and this thing can just handle that power for a while, a long time, and that's 4,000 watts. Ah, man, I am so happy. And let's get back to the studio. We're back. Hi. I tried to narrow that down as much as I could with the power, and I know that the peak was a little bit different. But even with me playing it until I took it out of the car 3 days ago, I could hear, you know, in that enclosure, you know, with just what it was, just trying to get every watt out of it, it wanted to play a little bit higher, you know, and I feel like I would have to adjust the box accordingly because the recommended enclosure for the new Solo X18 is 7.5 cubes and a lot more port area than I have. Now I'm sitting at like 10 cubes, including the port. So a lot of area to fill, and you know, it still plays low, trust me, and I can get louder even at lower frequencies, but it wants to play a little bit higher in that enclosure. But again, watt for watt, literally identical to a degree, but just a little bit louder because I feel like it's, even though, you know, the efficiency's really close, which is, I was surprised. I was happy to see that. I was like, man, it's going to probably take me an extra 500 watts to do the same scores, but then I will be able to even add more power and more power. No, it is an efficient, it's a light speaker, you know, as in it's not this stiff, just giant. It's not. And even with my experience with the 12 and the 18, the 12 seemed like a stiffer driver compared to the 18 out of the box. So, you know, to see that it does the same type of numbers and with a little bit extra, I am happy with that. And the difference, and I tried to say that in the beginning of the thing, of how much power that it could handle. You know, burping is one thing, right? You know, you put up a score, you're burping for a couple seconds, if that, and that's it, you know. A speaker regarding, you know, thermal handling can handle a burp, you know, a lot more, as in higher power. So that Solo X, I could probably put, you know, 7,000-8,000 to it on a burp, the old one, and it would handle it, you know, and it was kind of designed in a way for that, but also being an SQ driver. Now, the new one, we've seen, you know, they put 20K on it on a burp, you know, it's just that. And then how it gets rid of that heat. 20 years of experience with Kicker, man. They just come such a long way, and the driver just gets rid of that heat. And with the higher temp resin, it's more for the bass heads. It's even more geared that way so that you can clamp that 2,000 watts continuous. The old Solo X18, not really. Whenever I was clamping 2,000 watts continuous was at Slamology on the two war horses at 2 ohms, clamping like 1,100 to 1,300 each, and I had a hard time doing an entire song. You know, it would start to get really, really hot, and I didn't want to blow the coil. That new one would just walk on it, on that power. It would just walk on it, and that's the difference. And even with me being able to meter only a 152, still can do that for a while. At least 30, 40 seconds continuously, you know, and that's 4,000 watts clamp. That is double the rated power, and it's just taking it like a boss, man. It really is. Thank you, Phil Lusher. We got to throw it up here. Gifting 5 memberships to the Green Team. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate you, and thank you for making us look at it.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
I don't know how I didn't see that till now, but it's there. Thank you so much, Phil. Appreciate you. And yes, Kip says, I think if Andy shrank the box and raised the tuning, he would get a little higher SPL number. Right, I was already thinking about that. Putting some 45s in the back corner, painting them white, you know, to shrink it down another cube and a half, and then keeping the port relatively the same. But by doing that, the tuning would raise a little bit, you know, and it just, you can always eke out those more like SPL numbers. You really can. There's definitely a 53 in there with that power, you know, even more. You could just take out the fur and probably gain another half a dB. I've never metered it with the fur out. Let me tell you, it's always been in there. But it sounds good and it looks awesome, man. Now, let's see here. The speaker terminals are different. I do want to cover that because I had that as well. The speaker terminals, because you can't really see them over there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to put it in a little clip here so you guys can look. The difference between the old Solo X18 speaker terminals versus the new. So let's take a look at that real quick. The push terminals on here are a little bit different, but they do kind of do the same thing. Obviously, you have your normal push terminal where you put the wire in and that's that. But these actually do twist off themselves here. And then you use this part as the bolt for a ring and wire assembly for that. And then also you could run the wire right through here and use this as the input. So this technically has 3 different ways to wire your speaker. Now on the L7X, it's a little bit different, but you have your push terminals here, and then you also have your direct inputs with the included hardware to tighten it down, just like I showed you for the last step on this one. And that's it. It has 2 different ways to do it. This has technically 3. Oh God, these things are heavy. They are heavy, and it's kind of crazy how the old one had more connection hookups, but the new one, I mean, honestly, I didn't really use the ring terminal setup that the old one had, where you could put on a lug and stuff, but I thought that was pretty cool. Like, the old Solo X had a lot of tricks up its sleeve. It really did, and even did the manual. Kip, thank you for writing that manual. I remember looking at that the first time, and I said, oh, would you look at Sam? Would you just look at him? He's so cute. He just broke his back by picking up an L or a cell. See? Oh my goodness. It is slowly being erased out of my mind of Solo X. It's L7X now. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. It's still a Solo X though. You know, it is. It says it on. It's a Solo X. Absolutely, but Kip, awesome job on writing that manual, man. He is awesome at it. He likes to write manuals. Let's see. Do you guys got any other questions? I know we had. Oh, okay. All right. Now, no one's gonna let me do anything today. Thank you, Shannon. No, I've been ranting a lot today.
Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
But it was a good show to talk about it because I wanted to get into the details of pretty much everything with the old Solo X and the new Solo X as much as I could in an hour show because we're already at the hour mark. Shannon, do you think you'll be able to do more than 152 dB with the same setup you did? It easy, I think, 153, 154. I'll tell you this, if I added more power on a burp, yes. There's still more, like, mechanical to go. I got more speaker to go. And for a burp, and that thing just has a ton of throw. So yeah, just without doing anything, like I could do some enclosure tweaks. And honestly, the back of my car, like how I got shag there, well, there's sound dampening on the back there. I only put it there because I was having a leaking issue at one point and to prevent something from happening again. But over the winter time, the sound dampening fell down and the shag is holding it. So there's like a puddle, right? And that is an SPL fix right there by fixing that. Like, it is how it was, and yes, it could go up a little bit, but you guys got to understand, once you get to a certain point of SPL with that enclosure, that sub, that power, that vehicle, it's really hard to eke out more numbers after that. I guess I would call it a crescendo point of where that enclosure and speaker system really shine at, like you're putting 500 watts to it. You're already up to a 143, a 145. That thing does awesome numbers, dude. I do a 47 under 1,000 watts, and that's really where that enclosure and that setup shine. And then doubling the power, 50. Doubling the power again, 52. You start to fall off because you're running into just what that enclosure. You'd have to gear it to where that crescendo is maybe at a higher frequency, closer to the cabin residency of the vehicle, or just, physics, just being physics, man. Thank you so much, Shannon. You guys are awesome, man. We had steady 80 people in here tonight. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I love doing like the Q&A. I love doing this, but I wanted to get into the meat and potatoes of the L7X and Solo X, and this could be a 2.5 hour stream. And if we had somebody else on here, man, it would just be a 4-hour stream. The differences of excursion, power handling, what they're designed to do. Douglas, I brought it up a little bit earlier, but the old Solo X definitely geared more towards the SQ side of things, and the Solo X gears a little bit more towards the SPL side of things. Not saying that you couldn't put the Solo X into the L7X new one into a sealed enclosure. You can. Looking at just the QTS, like, 0.55, like, yeah, that would work in a sealed or ported enclosure, and it's just there's a lot more that goes into that. Like, I can just just start talking about all these numbers and everything else and just get into how physics works, and I still wouldn't know what the heck I'm talking about. But yes, it's going to be sounding good. But I will tell you this, when I first put the L7X18 in there, I had the L7X12 in Kayla's car, and I knew it had a different sound signature compared to what I already have with the L7R, the old Solo X, like the L7R quad box, the L7Ss. This thing is meant to put out sound. It is meant to put out pressure, especially below 40 hertz, man. And, that's just saying, oh, well, I got this big, 150 dB build and my surrounds are this big. You're not going to be going into SQ stock street class, and they're going to be like, you got too much bass. It's just, no, it's muddy, and not that driver can't do that, but it's not geared quite as well compared to like a Comp Q, where that is geared more towards SQ. And that's just like saying, is the Comp Q and SPL driver not geared as much, and it just, Kicker, when they make their woofers, they're not like this, just like SPL and just, SQ, it's here or here or here, and it still can do more. And I feel like the L7X is a little bit more this way. I mean, come on, compared to everything else Kicker has made in the past 50 plus years, 51, 52 years, it's definitely more this way. And that's what people want now. They want the hair tricks. They want just the compression and refraction, man. That's what they want. And they just want to levitate. Compression, levitation. They want the hair flexing, and that is what the L7X and L7X18 Solo X Warhorse family of products are designed to do. They really are. Thank you guys for your questions. This was a fun show. 300 dB. I mean, I feel it coming. You just got to be on a planet with a higher gravity, I think, with the molecules a little bit closer, so that you can reach a higher dB depending on the atmosphere. So there is that. I mean, it is reachable. You can do it here, but it's not a sine wave anymore. Then it's wasted information. 1000%. Absolutely, Douglas. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the show, entering the giveaway. Speaking of which, that's what I'm going to do now. Yes. Yes. All right. So I know I had this all set up for this other stuff, and I'm like, you know what? That's the thing when you do the lives. You just kind of go with it. You just go with it. All right. Giveaway has ended. Let me turn up the background music a little bit. Don't let me forget. Because I will forget. Rigomatic 4000. Just got an update. Ah. Okay, let's see here. You can do it here. Just run Terramps. The fire alone is 180 dB. I believe it. I know I seen a comment on Facebook today talking about how, Kicker copied somebody else. And I knowing what I know, it's like, man, they literally, they're here with the scratchbook brightness stuff now. 95% of the products you see, and has been. And I'm like, really? But that's how rumors are spread for anything, and especially car audio too, man. That guy with the kickers blew out his windshield with a single 12, and it's just, yeah, it's doable. But that guy probably didn't mount his box, and we just get the bad rep. Everybody knows Kicker. They know the name. They're sold everywhere, and if you have any brand that's whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I was just really shocked to see that. And it's like, man, I don't think they're going to be copying off of them. But they make good products too. I do like the new stuff that they're making just because, it seems to last a little bit longer. It's got more features and they're listening to their consumers. And that's exactly what Kicker has been doing from day one. And I think that's why they stand out so much. Besides the products they make, they listen. All right, cool. Good. Oh, come on, man. There we go. See here. Only 75 people entered. There's 87 of you guys watching. I love you guys. Yeah, that's kind of what it is, That's kind of what it was. Let's see. Oh, almost knocked my water over. And see, look, that just started flexing. I'm not pressing anything. Bear with me, guys. Bazooka subs. They're great. All right. Kip says, Annie, let them know about the NDA meeting you attended when we were designing the new products. Right, so whenever I drove out to Kentucky World Finals 2018 to learn about the L7X products, the Warhorse, the L7X 10, 12, 15, 18, and there's more stuff coming, of course. But yeah, man, it was awesome just to see the steps that they created that new driver with. And even from that day of seeing it and seeing the illustrations and then what they actually came up with and the final changes and all the revisions that they did and had, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, they literally made that woofer from scratch, just like most of the things they do. And they had to get it right. And I can see why, because that thing moves so much. Like, it is a X-Max monster. I could just imagine the mechanical limit on that. I would say almost 3 to 4 inches both ways. Like, that thing is moving some Kicker, man. It really is. Let's see here. Why isn't Ashy green yet? I'm not going to ask. Ashy, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, sir. Got all these things here. Okay, good. Awesome. Oh. John's asking a juicy question here. Would you advise against running 2 L7X on one single warhorse with a final load of half ohm? Or you knew the installer was good, would you say it's okay? You know, I'm going to tell you, just go ahead. I know people, you know, run it safe, 1 ohm. Drew, Kyle, myself, we all run our warhorses at half ohm. I don't. I run it at 1. It runs super cool. That was one thing I was surprised. After demoing at my spot and metering, I went back and checked. You know, the woofer was hot. You know, 2 warhorses and 1 ohm each on each coil. That's a lot of power. And the warhorses weren't cold to the touch, but they weren't even warm. Like, they were like above outside temperature just by a hair. And I'm like, wow. Like, these things are awesome. Now, my electrical is amazing. I got 2 JY40s and a 320 amp alternator, but still, and I'm clamping 4K, so I got enough there. That is the key. You want to have enough electrical, power wire, and everything else before you even talk about running an amplifier below its rated impedance. And then you still have to look at the enclosure, too, and how it's going to react. And I always tell people, if you're going to do it with a kicker, just because it's not going to just blow up right away. It's not. And if it does, you know, there's things that happen, man. There are things that happen. Some freak accidents. Let's see. Okay, cool. We're getting there. We're getting there. Man, these bots. Nice. Nice. I like when I see the names. The names of close brethren. No, it's not you, Cornut. Yeah. Oh man. 93. You guys are awesome. They want to know if they won. I want to know if I won too. Let's see. Okay, cool. Now I can type these in. Good, good, good. I like the Rigomatic 3000. It was faster. That is definitely slower. All right, let me type these in. Okay. Yeah, I can see the comments over here too. Good. 1/4 ohm load for the fire horse. It'll be a fire horse if you run at a 1/4 ohm and you don't know what you're doing. Okay. Texas, huh? We got a Texas. Guess we can put a comma there, huh? I try to do my best with grammar. Had a hard time with English. Mom helped me. Learned a lot. Sorry about the long stream tonight, guys, but I mean, I wanted to cover as much as I could. I know there's more things that I could go over. One other thing I do want to bring up. Let me type these in, and I'm going to talk about that for a second, and then we'll do the giveaway names. Okay. Yep. All right, now the 50% off. Awesome. Test. Yep, we're good. Always make sure your pre-out level's good too. 40,000 watts at 0 ohm. Yes. I mean, that's the only way, and it's definitely below 40 hertz at 40,000 at 0 ohms. Yes. Thank you, Green Reaper. Appreciate you tuning in. Best live chat around for audio. Thank you, Dobby. I appreciate you, mate. You drive Cookie today? No, I was driving Kayla's car with a Kicker Comp Q. You might have heard that. It's pretty loud. I'd say it's at least a 40. It's on a Kicker Comp Q at 1 ohm on the KXA 2400.1. It's enough. Justin, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hope you've been well, man. All right, let's do... Oh, yeah. I can't. I'm going to forget what I'm doing here. All right, let me close these out because I got like 5,000 rigging files up, and we can't. Okay, there we go. Oh, I had Kicker Club up, and it just refreshed, and we just got something here. Dude, my sub is flexing, but there's no super chat. I don't understand. I don't understand. You know what? It might be from something else, and it's actually working now. Let me take a look. Actions, action queue, running queue, default variables, started at 947. What is GGG? What is GGG? Oh, first words. I forgot to turn that off. So we had somebody comment on the stream for the first time. Yeah, let me just turn that off. Because we tried that one before. I was making sure my Python stuff was working. All right, cool. So, sorry. Doing this stuff by yourself, there's a few quirks with it. So, in Kicker Club, if you're not part of Kicker Club, you're sleeping under a rock.
Like a cool club.
Yeah, it is a cool club. Clubs are cool.
You got to check it out. And yeah, we are up to 75.4 thousand members. We just hit 75,000 members. If you like Kicker and you're on Facebook, take a look at it. But Kicker just talked about this today. I don't know why my thing froze there for a second. Posted this actually yesterday. Kicker SQ. They have a car audio show. What is happening? That's weird. I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on the stream's end. It kept freezing there for a second. But yes, they have their own SQ car audio show at HQ on, what was it, May 17th? Yep, May 17th. Take a look at it. You know, I want to go. I'm dealing with a few things, and if I wasn't, I would be heading there because there is no Slamology. There is no Slamology. So there is that. Awesome. All right, let's do the giveaway. I'm ready. I just had to let everybody know to go take a look at it. Just look at it. And thank you, Kicker, for doing that for the community. I know you guys have a hard time with just bass. I mean, I get it. You're Kicker. The neighbors are going to complain. But SQ and a little bit of bass never hurt, you know, and I'm glad you guys are doing it. If everything works out, I would love to go. But you know what? Priorities. I mean, that should be a priority, huh? That should be a priority. Just fire up the moped. I'll be there in 5 to 6 days shipping. We will get there. All right, cool. So let's do the giveaway. Let's see. Let me scroll over here. So I have my first, second, third, fourth. Rigomatic 4000 ready to go. And then I want to have this up just so I can take a look at it. All right, yeah, so I don't have to read the names, and I just got everything there. All right, so third place. And they switched everything around, or at least my thing was behind, on Kicker. Third place is the EB400s. Second place, TW2 wireless earbuds, Bullfrog 100, and of course, the 50% off discount code at anything at kicker.com. And, man, that is just awesome. They do that for you guys. But let's get to it. So let me pull up this. There we go. Sorry, I'm rusty. I had to do 2 Kicking It With Annies in a row and then no Kicking It With Annies in a row. And now I'm a little rusty. just a little bit. Long weekend, dad stuff, and trying to still have a stream for today. And today was awesome. You guys showed up. You showed out. Love you for it. Third place goes to Randy G from Temple, Georgia. EB400s, man. Those things are awesome. Congratulations. Koozie pack, t-shirt, whole nine. You won Unmasked. You're going to get it in the mail. Kicker will be contacting you. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your support. Second place goes to Chris R from Kansas City, Kansas. You get the TW2 wireless earbuds, Kicker swag pack, the whole nine. Thank you, Chris R. Appreciate you for watching, and thank you so much. So we got first place with the Bullfrog 100 and the 50% off discount code. I know you guys are drooling over, so let's do it. The Bullfrog 100 goes to Jason M. from Irvin, Texas. congratulations. You're going to love the Bullfrog 100. I got my 400 over there, 100 behind me. I just got it fully charged, man. That's why the case is off here. These things come in handy. Waterproof, throw it in your pool. Just make sure this side is sealed, and then you dry it out afterwards. Let me just tell you, it keeps on kicking. So, the moment y'all been waiting for, the 50% off discount code. Anything at kicker.com, Warhorses, Solo X's, anything you see on there, t-shirts, mediums, you know the deal, goes to Josh E. from Cincinnati. Just kidding. Cincinnati, Ohio. Inside joke. Congratulations. Thank you so much for watching, Josh. Thank you all for watching. And I will be sending you an email for the 50% off discount code. And the rest will be from Kicker, Sandy, somebody calling Roger. I don't think Ernie does that. Either way, they will be contacting you. And thank you so much for watching tonight's show. I'm not going to keep you here forever. Tune in Friday. We will be doing our 10K giveaway, finally. And it's going to be awesome. So make sure you tune in. Enter daily. You already know the link. Thank you so much for watching Kicking It with Andy, the Solo X comparison. There's a lot more I could go into, but we have the rest of our lives to talk about them. The L7X18 is here, and more to come. No other sizes, of course not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay living loud. See you guys on the next one.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Love you guys. Stay living loud. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All 4,000 watts. Yep. Yep. He's hiding. He is hiding. Thank you guys for hanging out. Kip, Appreciate the tech support. Doesn't get better than that. Love you guys.
Listen off with Andy.
Appreciate everybody. And, you know, yeah, the 4,000 watts was accurate, man. 1,000%. And it could handle that 4,000 clamp, I would guarantee, for at least 30 seconds. Then you're going to run into some problems. And that's a lot of power. Just continuous, just bass. That's just clipping of that 4,000 watts with the system that I got. And there's Cornut coming in like Cornut clutch, Cornut caboose.
Traveling installs.
Thank you, CAE, for being part of the green team for 8 months. And Eric coming in with the Canadian Cornut caboose.
Would you look at that?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it works. It definitely works. Thank you so much, guys. And as always, stay living loud. And then we dance.